I'm starting my meal prep for the week with spaghetti squash. I'm going to cut it down the center first. This is the hardest part. You're going to cut all the way through till you get 2 halves. Once you have 2 halves like this, you're going to take a spoon and you're going to take all of the inside, the loose insides out like this. Once they're split in the middle and you've taken everything out, they look like this. You brush them a little bit with some olive oil, very, very lightly, and then you place them face down, just like this on a cookie sheet. And then you place them in your oven, preheated to 375. These take the longest to cook, so I always put these in first. I also like to make sweet potato, and I usually put it on the same rack as the spaghetti squash, and all you do is just pierce it a couple times, kind of like you're killing it, with a fork so they don't explode in your oven. And that's it. When the squash is done, all you need to do is take a fork to it, and you'll see that the inside just falls apart and turns into what looks like spaghetti. So you can just throw marinara sauce over this, or toss it in some olive oil and herbs, and you have spaghetti. I also have a recipe for spaghetti squash patties that I will be sharing with you guys as well, because I can only handle so much of this. So I make some of it into spaghetti just like this. Some of it I mix with actual pasta, and the rest of it I make into squash patties and I bake them. That's it. These are ready to go in. Next, I start making my omelets in a cup, my egg protein muffins. These are old muffin tins, so hopefully you have better ones. Spray them all down, even along the outside, because the outside of your muffins will stick. And as you can see, I make a lot of them. So spray everything in. Once it's sprayed, I get my egg whites. These are the ones I get from Costco. And I evenly pour it into each one. One of them should last you for about 12 of these muffin tins, or a 12 count muffin tin. So just evenly pour it in. As you can see, this one. And then when I have a little bit left over, I just fill them all in equally. Just like that. After I add the egg, I add a little bit of organic milk. Just a little splash to each one. A tiny little splash, and makes them fluffier. Some of them get a little bigger splash than others, but I don't like to measure, as you can see. So once you're done with that, we're going to add spinach. Next, I'm going to add the spinach, and just fresh spinach. All you do is just add it to each cup like this. If it's sticking out like this one is, you just push it down. So add it to each one. It looks like it's a lot, but once it cooks, it will go in. After you are done with the spinach, you can add a little bit of feta cheese. Just a couple crumbles to each one. Again, I don't measure, so I would say it's about 1/3 of a serving to each cup. Once you are done with the feta cheese, I usually add salsa, but I don't have any. This is all I have. So I'm going to add a little bit of this. Again, a little bit, just a little, maybe teaspoon, probably less. And I'm improvising because I don't have regular salsa. Once you're done with that, I'll sprinkle a little bit of this into each one. And this is what they should look like before you put them in the oven. The spinach will be sticking out a little bit, but that's okay because it will shrink down. And I forgot to mention, you bake these at the same time as you bake the squash at 375, but these will probably be done in about 30 minutes. Next, I'm getting kind of lazy this week. I didn't have any chicken or fresh salmon prepped, so I usually make these salmon burgers, also that I get from Costco, and these chicken breast patties that I also get from Costco. I don't have the bag handy, but I will include the name in the blog post. And I'm going to put these in the oven on an oven rack, just like this, because I like them to, I like especially the salmon patties to let all the fat fall to the bottom when I bake them. And I will place them on an oven wrap, add a couple more here, and bake them at the same time that I do my egg muffins and my squash. Next, I'm going to make another favorite, and this is squash, but acorn squash. So what you have to do is you have to slice it, cut off the top, and then cut off one more ring about ½ an inch thick. And then you're going to do the same thing you did to the spaghetti squash and take out the insides, just like this, so that you have it hollow. Once you have it hollow like this, you're going to keep slicing, and you're going to make about ½ inch thick slices all the way down. Once you have your slices, what I like to do is I like to cut them in half like this because they're easier to arrange on a pan. So you are going to arrange them on a pan like this. Some of them I leave whole, especially if they're circles. That one has a couple seeds left in it, I don't mind. So you're going to set them out. These slices I didn't cut, so you can cut them, you don't have to. I use every little piece. See, I even cut all the way around the stem because I love this stuff. So you're going to lay them out. Then I probably drizzle or spray a little bit of olive oil that I'm not going to do right now because I'll get the phone all dirty, but you can do that first. And then sprinkle with a little Parmesan. Light sprinkle all over the top. Once they're all sprinkled and you've lightly brushed them with olive oil, you put them in the oven with your other squash and your egg muffins. So these are ready to go. So as you can see, I have everything in there now. I have the salmon patties with some chicken. I have the egg muffins. Down here and up there I have my spaghetti squash and my acorn squash. I'm now going to make my Normandy veggies and also my, let me see, my quinoa. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. So these are the Normandy veggies. It's called Normandy style veggie blend from Costco, and they have broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and squash, and they're frozen. The frozen is just as healthy as fresh because they're frozen at their peak. So I get a big pot and I put a strainer in here and I fill water up right to where it touches this, but it does not go above it. And then pour the veggies in. Pour them all in. Cover it. And then I'm going to steam this covered until they can be pierced with a fork, and then they're done. Next, I'm going to make my quinoa, and I recently got this. It's called Organic Ancient Grains, and it's quinoa, amaranth, and millet. So just a couple different kinds of grains. Gluten-free, has tons of protein. So what you do with this is you make it just like rice. You put it in a sauce in a pot. Let me find one. Okay, unlike rice that has arsenic levels in it, quinoa and these grains don't, so you don't need to rinse it. You just measure an amount, and you add double the water to it. So I'm going to make 2 cups, as you can see. I'm going to pour it into the saucepan. 1, 2, and then I'm going to put 2 cups of water plus another 2 cups because I put 2 cups of the grain, so I need 4 cups of water into the saucepan. And now that I have the water and the grains, I'm going to put it on the stove top next to my Normandy veggies as they're steaming. So this is on the stove top. I'm going to turn it on, and once it gets to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and cover it. So not yet, you don't cover it yet, only once it gets to a boil. While my food is cooking, I get my other meal prep stuff ready. Some of my favorites are these cherry tomatoes because I can just grab them and go, put them in a bag. Hard-boiled eggs, I always have some of these ready in the fridge. Cottage cheese, I can eat this either with veggies or with fruit, depending on how I want the taste. I also like, this is a favorite snack, almonds and cranberries. It's a good like sweet and salty blend. I just buy them separately and combine them in a little container. String cheese is another favorite. This is one of my favorite yogurts along with Siggi's. It's a really good taste. It's got really clean ingredients and it has lots of protein, very little sugar. As you can see, only 6 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein. This is pretty much it for my fruits. I like halos, cuties, or small navel oranges, and tangerines. And I add this to my Shakeology, both of these. Lots of bananas, as you can see in the corner, so I always have bananas handy. And then my Shakeology, some of my favorite flavors. I have all kinds of different ones at home. I just recently bought a sampler pack so that I could try different ones. And I got some of the vegan chocolate, the vegan strawberry, and regular chocolate, so lots of different flavors. So this is the rest of my meal prep, and I get all these ready and packed up while I'm waiting for the rest of it to be done. If you're following the 21-day fix, these would be reds, your proteins, your Greek yogurt, and your Shakeology. Greens for the veggies. Almonds are blues, and dried cranberries are purples. Cheese is also a blue, a dairy or a healthy fat. This is a protein. Also a protein, 2 eggs or 8 egg whites. More purples. And then we'll go over everything that I'm making in the oven in a little bit. Here we go, I found one of these in the fridge. This is my other favorite yogurt, also a red. And also has great ingredients, very clean. As you can see, no aspartame, no sucralose. These are really the only ingredients: milk, cane sugar, blueberries, and lots of protein, 14 grams. So Siggi's and Quark are my 2 favorites. I also showed you guys the Shakeology Sampler earlier. It also comes in these large bags, much more cost effective. I like the chocolate, husband likes the strawberry, so we keep these 2, and then I got the sampler just to try out different flavors for the kids and I. In a red. Now over here you have my snack, my mid-morning snack. It is 1 purple, that's 1 purple of those, and it is 1 blue for the string cheese. So then we move on to lunch. And remember, usually I have either fresh salmon or chicken breasts, but this week I didn't go grocery shopping for fresh meats. Well, I did, but we didn't cook them. So I'm just using salmon patties, which are just as healthy. So the salmon patty. Something else I forgot to share with you guys, if you aren't at home and you need to take your lunch to work, this is a great way to do it. This bag has tons of room. A compartment in here, a compartment up here, and this is a smaller one. Side compartments for your beverages, some tools here, and it comes with meal prep containers. It comes with meal prep containers of all different sizes, so you can pack your meals. It even comes with plasticware, and it comes with some ice packs. So tons of room to take all your food with you, and really everything you need. I got it at isolatorfitness.com. I got this actually at the Fit Expo, but this is where you can get it. So this is my final tools when it comes to meal prep. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my meal prep, 21-day fixed meal prep demonstration. I hope it helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach me at info@fitfluentialmom.com. or you can head over to my website, fitfluentialmom.com, and find tons of recipes and other blog tips there. Reach out with any questions, if any help. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Pardon the outfit, but it's late on a Saturday night, so this is what I'm wearing to meal prep. Again, this is a pretty freaking awesome bag. Comes with everything you need to meal prep. These containers are invaluable as well as Shakeology, so hopefully you guys get it. Join my boot camp and I can help you out some more.